right, let's get rolling, shall we? What a great day here. Thank you for everybody for joining us here at the River Club in Jacksonville for what's going to be a historic day for Jacksonville sports and for women's soccer in our area. I want to introduce who's at the table with us right now. To my left, Amanda Vandervoort, the president of USL Super League, founding partner of JAXUSL, Ricky Kaplan, and founding JAXUSL partner, Tony Allegretti. To my right, the mayor-elect of Jacksonville, Donna Deegan. Steve Livingstone, one of the other founding partner of JAXUSL, and the former women's soccer head coach and national champion at the University of Florida, Becky Burley. So, yeah, don't let me stop you from cheering for that. That is a great couple of tables there. Let me just bring up Ricky Kaplan to get things started here for us.
Thank you, Cole. Wow. Thank you all so much for being here. It is hard to believe that I think it was about a year ago when we first stood up and said we were bringing back professional women's and men's soccer to North Florida. And one of the things I shared that myself and my wife Danielle and Timmy and Demi Tebow were most excited about was actually the ability to bring professional women's soccer. And we talked a little bit about how the United States is probably the best country in the world when it comes to women's soccer. We've won a bunch of World Cups. And one of the things that I learned as I went through this experience, right here in North Florida, we have just been one of the most fruitful regions in the entire country for producing elite women athletes. We have Olympians that have come from here, and really some of the best athletes in soccer have come right here. And so we were super excited. And it's really turned into probably be a dream scenario, best case scenario. We didn't know a lot of what we've learned since then, but we get the opportunity to be a major league women's soccer team. The top tier will be the second major league team here in North Florida to the Jaguars, go Jaguars. We also are the second major league team for women ever in the state of Florida. And I believe I've learned it's the first ever to think of women since the beginning and inception. And so I had a conversation with my daughter, Callie, this morning. I was sharing her how I was excited to come here and why I thought it was important. And she asked me to explain myself. And so I told her a little bit about what I just shared about the United States and North Florida being really good in women's soccer. But then I shared, you know, Callie, when we look at women's sports today, there's a lot of arenas and coliseums and stadiums, but most of them are designed for men from the beginning and from the inception. And this is actually one that is going to be thinking of women from the very beginning. And Callie looked at me and she said, "Daddy, that's not fair." And I laughed and I agreed with her. And I said, "Well, Callie, Daddy's going to do what he can." But one of the incredible things, like I said, a lot of things have worked out that we didn't know were going to take place. You know, a year ago, I didn't know that we were going to have our first female mayor in the history of Jacksonville. And God's plans are always so much better than my plans, and his timing is always so much better than my timing. And so I'm just so grateful, Donna, for you being here. Thank you for taking the time out. I know you're taking office here very shortly. You've got so much planning, and you chose to prioritize being here. So thank you. We very much look forward to working with you and hopefully making this a reality. Thank you all so much for being here. With no further ado, I'll give Amanda the podium,
yes,
who is our president of the Super League.
Thank you, Ricky, and thank you all, everyone, so much for being here. It is absolutely a delight to be back in Jacksonville, and thanks to everyone involved in this club and bringing this club to life. We also have Justin Papadakis here from the USL, who has been a visionary and a leader in not only the USL, but really adamant about bringing women's professional soccer to this league and to this country. So I'm thrilled. I couldn't be more thrilled than to have Jacksonville as a market in the Super League. About maybe a month ago, we announced our initial markets. That's 8 markets that'll be beginning in 2024. and then a series of at least 5 that'll be coming in the years ahead as soon as stadium projects are completed, and Jacksonville is one of those. And the reception across this country has been unbelievable. Our goal really is to bring professional women's soccer closer to home for more women in more communities, more opportunities and access to the game at the highest level in cities that have just never had it before. And so we're really, really proud to be part of that mission, but it doesn't happen without every single person in this room. So I want to take just one moment to share with you a video that we have prepared about the Super League to give you a little bit more insight into what we're building and how we're thinking about bringing this league to life.
Are you ready? Ready for more of the game you love? Ready for more players and more teams? Ready for more stadiums, for more fans in more cities? This is a different league, the USL Super League. Built for the future of women's soccer, bridging the journey from youth to pro, connected to the global game, and bringing it all closer to home. Are you ready?
Gets me pumped every time. I've seen it thousands of times, and still every time I get so excited. I do want to give a shout out. We have players here in the room. So at the USL, we have the Super League, the Pro League. We also have the W League, which is our pre-professional league, which really complements the college system and helps prepare players for a future in professional soccer or college or whatever they choose to do. So our Florida Elite team here in the front row, if we could get a round of applause for these amazing women who are in the middle of their season. And I just had a chance to connect with some of them. The pink are the goalkeepers, so shout out to all the goalkeepers in the room, because that was my background. So I'm just super proud and super excited to have you guys here, and of course Stephen Mail and Sean Bubb who lead the team. And thank you for your leadership and guidance and commitment to the women's game and the future of women's soccer here in Jacksonville. And I'm just so delighted. But it is my distinct privilege, honor, and pleasure today to welcome to the stage and introduce to you our mayor-elect in Jacksonville, Donna Deegan. If you'd please join me up here, we've got a jersey for you, a special gift. How are you, by the way? It's nice to meet you. Thank you for being here. I think we need to take a picture of you and me. Let's step just in front of the stand. Ricky, you want to join us too? I'll let you go in the middle. Sure. Yeah. Hang on. In case there's any questions. Thank you. And with that, Mayor-elect, I give the podium to you.
Thank you very much. Oh, what exciting times. This is so fantastic, isn't it? Oh my goodness. What exciting times in Jacksonville. It looks like there are going to be a lot of stadium discussions in my future. But I want to thank you, Amanda. Thank you to the USL Super League, Ricky, Tony, Steve at JAXUSL, to Coach Burley from UF. Just really so pleased to see all of you here. This is such an exciting time for Jacksonville. As we mentioned earlier, Jacksonville made a lot of history on May the 16th. We elected our first woman mayor in history, and we also had the USL Super League announced the very same day. So I think that was just, you know, as was mentioned, you know, you never know what God has planned, and I'm very excited to be a part of that plan. And Jacksonville will now have our first pro sports team franchise for women in our history. I think that is so exciting. There's nothing to me more exciting than women's sports. I cannot wait to be in the stands. Anybody who has known me for a long time knows that I am an absolute sports nut, and I will be in the stands cheering you on when you are playing here in Jacksonville, and we can't wait for that day to happen. Huge step for women's sports in Jacksonville. Since election night, I can tell you that I have heard from a lot of moms and young women who have said that it is wonderful to have a role model for their daughters to look up to say, this is something I can do, and you all are part of that as well. It's so wonderful that I'll have young women to say, this is something I might be able to be a part of one day, and to look up to you. So I just think this is a wonderful step. it really shows that anything is possible when you put your mind to it. And I don't think that there's anything that brings a city together or a community together like sports. And as I said, certainly women's sports. I'm so excited to have a professional women's sports team here in Jacksonville. And I look forward to supporting you for many years and to being your biggest cheerleader. So thank you so much, and welcome to Jacksonville.
What's that?
I look forward to wearing this too, even though it's very orange.
Yeah, it's,
Yeah, a lot of orange and blue. A lot of orange and blue in my life.
couldn't find the garnet and gold version.
know.
Sorry,
It's all right,
Donna.
it's all
This time, let me bring up Steve Livingstone, one of the founding partners of JAXUSL, with another exciting announcement on the Women's Club.
Hey everybody, thanks Cole, thanks Mayor-elect Deegan, really love your support of the team. Amanda, thank you, Ricky. You know, thank you also to Florida Elite. I know you guys have been highlighted. You know, I think it's important to note Florida Elite do a great job and obviously lead the way in terms of the W League team. But there's a lot of great work going on in the community across all of our youth soccer clubs. In developing girls, developing the women's game. So, you know, we should mention GFC, Clay County, Ancient City, Prime, our college programs as well, UNF, JU, Flagler. I know there's representatives from each and every club today, which is kind of unusual for our youth and soccer program here in Jacksonville. Getting everybody in the one room is awesome. We should probably do it more often. So, but thank you all for coming today. You know, again, truly exciting day for not only soccer in our city, but women's sport in our state. And I'd like to add further to that excitement with a special announcement. Here at JAXUSL, we really try to pride ourselves on doing things the right way and being the best organisation and community partner that we can be. And that will go through everything in terms of our facility development, our stadium development. We want to be the first pro sports club in Jacksonville to have a community-based stadium that gives access to all, as well as our professional sports. We want both our women's and men's programs to be first class and competitive from the get-go, and we want to provide our players and coaches with the best facilities and a safe and productive environment. That's really important to play our beautiful game in. To that end, we're dedicated to developing the best facilities, as I said, and providing opportunities for our athletes both on and off the field. We'll be dedicated to finding work experience and jobs within our organisation for any players that want to gain experience beyond the pitch. And we'll also be offering all of our players an opportunity to gain coaching qualifications to help us face the challenge of a lack of female coaches in our game. That's really important for us. Our dedication will also extend to building our women's club and organisation to make sure that we do this to the highest standard possible. And to that end, we're seeking out the best advice. As such, I'm delighted to announce that University of Florida women's soccer coaching legend Becky Burley, who's here with us today, has joined our organisation to advise and consult us on building out our women's programme and helping over the next number of years identify the best coaching and playing talent for our club. Becky needs no introduction, but I'm going to embarrass her and give her one anyway. She's best known for her 26-year tenure as the first head coach of the Florida Gators women's soccer team, where she led the Gators to a NCAA Division I National Championship in 1998. She was named the first head coach of that program in 1994. In 1998, in the fourth year of existence, she defeated the then national champion North Carolina to win that championship. Her players on that team include All-Americans such as Daniel Fotopoulos, Heather Mitz, and Erin Baxter. Truly a legend, within the college game. In conference play, her Gators teams won 13 SEC championships and 10 SEC tournament titles, leading all other SEC teams since the team began play in '95. As a head coach, Becky compiled an amazing career record, 513 wins, only 160 losses and 46 draws, with a winning percentage of .745. Quite exceptional. She ranks second in total number of all-time wins among Division I coaches. And during her tenure at Florida, she coached 17 All-American players. Becky, it's really glad to have you on board. Thank you. And with that, if you'd like to come up and say a few words, Becky Burley, everyone.
Well, I feel like that introduction is going to be longer than what I have to say. So, first of all, this is just so cool because, you know, I came to North Florida about 30 years ago now and started the program at Florida. And think about that, like just the full circle moment that this feels like to be able to be part on the ground level of starting a professional team in Florida. And you know what, this is such an amazing opportunity because as the years have progressed, you see the talent level rising. And we need places for that talent to go because right now it's pretty limited. And there is so much talent out there, and that's only going to continue to grow. So I'm super excited about being part of this and being able to advise and help choose the next sporting director, the next head coach that can guide this talent even further. And I think the thing I'm most excited is for all of you guys out here, the players, because this is something that, like, this community-based part of USL, and I credit Amanda a lot for that because when she first got on board with USL, I knew immediately that this was going to be amazing because Amanda only gets involved with amazing things and makes things even more amazing. And then the fact that we have this amazing role model for women as the mayor here, I think it's just like destiny at this point, that this is the place that we're at. So for all of you who are in this room as players, so excited for you to have this community idea where you can see these women playing right in front of you, and you're going to be those women that are playing right in front of some of those little ones that are in the back. So excited. Thank you for having me, and can't wait to see this unfold.
And thanks, Becky, for that. That was awesome. I'm remiss. I did miss someone out. Mike Pickett is not here today, but I just want to shout Mike out for all the work he does with St John's County D and the development of you know, female soccer players into really elite positions. He does a fantastic job. Lastly, I'd just like to thank our presenting partner for today's announcement, Gotsport. We've got probably a bigger announcement on them next week. But just wanted to thank them for being here today. And I'll pass over to Cole, but thank you, everyone. We really appreciate your support. This is going to be awesome. We can't wait to get started. Thank you.
All right, thank you to everybody, in particular the mayor-elect. Great to have everybody here in this room. For the media, we have an opportunity for some one-on-ones or group interviews over in front of the step and repeats here to my right. And with that, I will say thank you so much for coming out, and we look forward to seeing that ball get kicked in competition. Going to be a lot of great moments still ahead for JAXUSL.